How's it going, guys? Today I have the 97 Jeep Wrangler here, and we're gonna install this Curt hitch, hopefully, onto the Jeep, because I've needed something to pull the small 4x8 trailer around. That's the part number if you need it. Hopefully this one works. Really hope so. I was looking at just getting aftermarket bumper because I have an aftermarket front bumper that came on the Jeep, but the ones in my price range it's kind of low. This is like, I think 130, 126 or something like that. There was an aftermarket bumper that had a built-in receiver hitch for like 154 or something like that, but looking at the reviews and the build quality, it was horrible. And Curt does a really good job making these. So I'm like, it would look cool having the aftermarket bumper, but I definitely pick functionality over looks any day. So we're gonna go with this. Hopefully this is high enough. I don't know if you guys noticed the trailer I use. It has a, it's meant for taller vehicles, so it kind of, the tongue goes out and then up. I think like a couple inches, like 4 or 5 inches, something like that. Ideally, I need a different trailer because all my vehicles are not lifted or anything. So hopefully this works out well. But we're gonna see if we can get this mounted. Go from there. I don't think they included any installation instructions. I don't think. I'm gonna go ahead and open this here on the bench. Pieces falling out everywhere. These are usually really straightforward. They have us using these ones on the back side. For us, it's this close side here, and then using 2 of these. See, these are bigger ones, these are smaller ones. So I'm guessing it's just maybe there's different size frame holes on the Jeep itself depending on the year or something like that, or depending on the trim level, trim package. Like we're gonna need an 18, a 19, a 5/8, 3/4, 9-inch extension, and a ratchet. All right, so let's figure out what holes we need, or what bolts we need for each holes. And we're gonna hold this up real quick. Go ahead and take this off a little bit so we go right above it. Okay. This is very easy to figure out. So we're gonna take this bolt out here, then we're gonna use this one. So you could probably use the factory bolts on the frame rail to hold the bumper on, but I'll probably just take them off. So yeah, let's figure out what size these take. Got my trusty Camo ratchet here. This one, there's been a couple different videos on my channel on these things, and this one has been my second replacement, and they sent me the longer version. This one's been amazing. I've used this like probably 1,000 times, close to it at least. No issues whatsoever. I love that thing. The biggest thing you have to think of is these are not to break bolts loose. It's to use after you break bolts loose. It's just, instead of sitting there and moving the ratchet back and forth and trying to hold the socket because it keeps tightening when you try to move it, you just stick that thing on and it zips them right out. Works very well when you know the purpose that they serve. Alright, so these, according to this, it's probably going to be in, what did they say, yes, 16? Yeah, 16. So we'll take these factory ones out of here. Maybe. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to get a pry bar here. Got our pry bar pretty much it's a floor jack handle. That's enough to break it loose. See how good my aim is. See if we can hit the top of this. Hopefully that helps. Put a little between here. PV blaster. Because luckily that's not moving, which is great. It's just a matter of time to get this thing out. But I honestly thought this would go a little bit easier than it is. But that is to a T how this whole Jeep has been. Which is not ideal, but it is what it is. Might have to take the exhaust bracket off to be able to move this enough to get the air impact on here. So I need to get a battery operated impact. Still. Oh. Oh. God, this thing's on there, man. That's getting a little bit better. Which means this is going to be fun to get back on there. Hey guys, this is gonna be simple, you know, only 4 bolts, right? Nah. Let's make this as hard as we can. This is really where I need a battery operated impact. Hint, hint, Camo. You guys sell one? Ah, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. See, now, so when you pop this off, get your impact, or your battery operated ratchet, make sure it's on reverse, stick this thing on there. There you go. Just like that. Now we gotta go battle the other side. It's probably just as bad. So we're gonna put this back on. God, my hands are slippery. PV blaster. Put this on here. Take our PV blaster and our pry bar. And I'll see you guys in a second once I finish this other side. Okay, we got both sides off. So now we have 2 of our different size, 1 of each of our different size bolts here. We're going to match up the threads for which one we need to use. We're going to use a smaller one. Use a washer that comes with it. There's gold ones in there. All that dust and everything on there. Figure out the easiest way to do this because you're going to have to fish that other part of the mount through that hole. So I'm thinking it might be easier to do the other side first, or like the far front side first. So let's go ahead and give that a try. So you have these little carriage bolts. You have your little fish tape things, what I call them. And then according to the picture, the tall side of this, it goes like that. So the bigger chunk goes towards the front. Because ideally, you're dropping this like that through inside the frame. And then use this so you don't lose it, pretty much. Because good luck trying to get all this stuff back out of the hole. So let's unfold this thingy here. I really like that they include this stuff, because this is so cheap to make and it makes it 1,000 times easier. So I'll stick it through like that already, and then just go ahead and thread this onto the carriage bolt as far as you can till it bottoms out. This is a lifesaver. I would highly suggest using these. So pretty much all you're doing, to get it through that hole, you're going to have to shove the bolt up there and then kind of shove it like this. So you're kind of in a straight line, and as soon as you get it all up there and flat, you'll see this thing up in the frame. You just kind of pull it, wiggle it around till it drops in like that, and then you will make sure to hang on up here or something. That's going to be the fun part, is trying to get this through that hole while holding it up, while you try to put a nut on here without having any of this go back up inside the frame, because then you're not using this anymore. So let's go ahead and give that all a try. If you're getting ready to do this, you already know how it works, but pretty sure there's a big hole here. As you can see, that's one we just took out. So this right here, this is going to be the fun part. So you're going to fish the head of that up there. Then you're going to follow it with the block, just like that. Then you're going to pull, wiggle it down. Make sure you're sitting in that square detent of that little spacer washer thingy. But you're going to have to hold on to this while you're trying to get the hitch itself up here. The easiest thing probably to do is if you have a car jack or a car jack or floor jack, whatever you have around, or cinder blocks, or a friend, or I don't have any of those, that will sit here and hold the frame up, or the frame, the receiver hitch up. So once you get this like that, if you can fish the end of the wire through this, that'll make your life a whole lot easier. Especially if you have someone here to hold it. Because then once you get up there, you can put your finger up here, hold the top side, unscrew this, and then just thread your bolt on just enough to hold it. Go to the other side, same thing, and then run your last two bolts up. So I'm going to see if I can manage to do this and not lose this thing inside the frame. I'm doing it by myself, so what happens happens. And that's how we're doing it today. So if you're doing this by yourself, definitely make sure to get that bolt ready. See, you're already learning stuff. When I say bolt, I mean nut. Bang this around a little bit, make it sound like you're doing something really important. Especially if the rest of your family's inside, make it sound like you're struggling as much as possible. Unthread your little guide thingy that's spring loaded and stuck on everything. Now since you got that off, get your thingy started here. Just like that. And to get these tight, you're gonna have to pull down because you want that square detent stuck in that spacer. Sadly enough, I'm hitting on my fuel tank actually on the driver's side, so we'll have to figure out how to squeeze this on by. But that should be majority of it there. I don't know why my fuel tank is really in the way, but okay. So we're gonna get this somewhat snug. You don't have to get all of it snug because you still have to fish that other side through. So now I gotta figure out where that wire thingy went. Move you guys to this side, and you can watch me struggle 2 times by myself while you're sitting here laughing. Because you actually have friends to help you. And then I realized that you guys can't really see much at all. Okay, don't mind this wiring. This is for a previous owner already put a 4-pin trailer harness in here. I don't even know if it works, but it's in there, so. All right. So remember, you want that big part towards the front. Go ahead and stick this through. Stick on your carriage bolt and thread it on there. I recommend keeping these things around. I have some for different sizes from different vehicles. They can come in handy. So now, over here we have to kind of maneuver ourselves around the hitch. That same process. Carriage bolt, follow it with that little spacer thingy inside the hole, go inside the hole, and then fish your wire through the receiver hitch hole. Give this a wiggle, get it down through, push this up, don't pinch your wires. As soon as you get on there, feel your back start to ache a little bit. That's how you know you're doing it right. Especially since you're contorted over everything. So then now you can start unthreading this thing. Maybe. Make sure to get a good grasp on this because you don't want to lose this up there. That would really suck. I think I got it on there too tight or something. Alright, there we go. If you're doing what I'm doing, make sure to grab a hold of that before the whole thing goes. Because that'll suck. This thing is actually a pretty decent workout, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm going to try to move around a little bit so I can get a better angle here. Alright. I'm cramping. Oh my gosh. Ah. 4 bolts, guys, that's all it is. I'm struggling. Uh-oh. I feel a massive cramp coming on. I gotta beat the cramp. And you guys know that cramps don't really take their time to show up. It's pretty instant. Oh, my leg's getting tight. Ow. Okay. Alright, it's on there. Good enough. Okay. Alright, and as soon as you get that, you can feel the pain shoot up your spine because your cramp is hurting so bad. Okay. Good enough. This is very good fitment, not gonna lie. That was awesome. Okay. Now, I don't know what step this is, but just run your bolts through. right there. Snug everything down. Let me see if there's a torque spec on here, but let me grab this one and then I'll repeat it on the other side. Don't forget to put your washer. You want like the cone up is what I would call it. It has the little dots on here. That's gonna grab into the hitch itself. And you're gonna want to thread this on there. Make sure to keep everything loose. Don't torque these rear ones or the front ones down until you get everything situated. It's very hard to adjust stuff when it's tight. So come on. Get in there. And these are unthreading. These are also a 16. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't looked up, but I think if you go by the factory specs, you torque it down like Hulk is trying to get out of a cage. That's pretty much how the factory bolts were in there. So it should be about like 3,000 foot-pounds or so. Alright, and here is your torque specs right there. Depending on which ones you're using, 7/16, 70 foot-pounds, half inch is 110, and 12 millimeter is 79. So let's get these torqued down, and this is the finished look on it. It looks extremely good. Way better, I think, than if I would have put an aftermarket bumper. I'm way happier with this look. You maybe have an inch sticking out, if that. I think it's more, it was like 3/4. There's your view there from straight up and down. Pretty much just that little lip, that's all sticking out. Height-wise, you're doing pretty good. This is a little dip in the floor, so measuring that won't do a whole lot, but I'm going to torque these down. It's nighttime, but I'm going to go ahead and put the receiver hitch in, which mine, I have a 2-inch drop hitch upside down, so it should bring the ball up to about here on the Jeep. Pretty much like center of the bumper, I think. Now we're going to go hook up my small trailer, put it on level ground, and see what it looks like. Alright, well, as you can see, I have it hooked up. The trailer lights are not working, so we'll have to diagnose that. But look at this, guys. That is pretty dang level for what it is. That's awesome. I'm really, really happy with that. The fact that it's that level. That is pretty much perfect. I have to be a little careful going up a hill because you can see the pitch of the ball and everything. How when you flip those upside down, you have a little bit more of an angle there. So just gotta be a little careful of that. But otherwise, this thing is be perfect with the Jeep. Downfall is I can't put the mower on it, but stay tuned because I will do a video on getting the lights working. I found that 4-pin plug up there, but we'll have to use a meter, test it, figure out if we're getting power at all, if we don't have a ground. I know we don't have a ground on the trailer. I did touch that to the trailer on a non-painted surface and still nothing. So we'll look into that soon. But first thing we're probably going to haul is actually with the big trailer, unfortunately. And that is going to be this big green thing here. It's going to go to the dealer because 17.8 hours on it, and it being brand new. Last I checked, you're not supposed to have oil dripping out of your brand new motor here, so this is gonna go to John Deere. I can fix it myself. I think it's just the O-ring on this, but it's under warranty, so I think they should cover their mistake. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.